Hey everybody, welcome back. I don't want to be too presumptuous, but I do believe we have frame generation for the people. I am now in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I've got the frame rates on from dev mode, and the Auto FPS app here also you can see on screen. Auto FPS is showing me sim values, FPS of 30, but in the lower left corner there of the Auto FPS window, you can see it says FSR 3, and my frame rates, excuse me, my voice is still a little bit spring allergies here. The frame rates are 60, right? And if you look at my main thread is green, baby. Look at that. I mean, that's unbelievable. I am currently right here at Princess Juliana International Airport in St. Martin, and I am not main thread limited in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Sim Update 2 beta. This is version 1.4.9.0. This might literally, if what I think is happening, this could be the most important video that I've ever made, because what I think is happening is that we are getting frame gen, the AMD software-based frame gen for everybody. Because what I did before I started this video, before I started the sim, was I uninstalled the frame gen mod. So I do not have the frame gen mod installed. Let's go into the settings here real quick, and I'll show you what we're dealing with. So you can see here, I do have DLSS quality set up. But if you look, if I click here through frame generation, there's none. There's AMD FSR 3, and there is none. So there's one option here, which is AMD FSR 3. I have an Nvidia 3080 Ti graphics card, so I do not have an AMD graphics card. The beauty of AMD FSR Frame Gen is it is software based, and what we've been doing with the frame gen mod for the last, I don't know, what, 3 years anyway, or 2 years with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and now in 2024, is we've been essentially tricking the sim into letting us use this AMD FSR Frame Gen with Nvidia graphics cards. Now, I don't know the AMD side of this because I'm not an AMD guy, but what I'm looking at right now is a sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, that is running on an RTX 3080 Ti from Nvidia with no frame gen mod installed, with AMD FSR Frame Gen running. Okay, I mean, let's test it out here. Let's go DLAA. So DLSS Super Resolution, what is this? It basically, so DLSS will render the image on your screen at a lower resolution and then use AI to upscale that lower resolution image to fit your screen, giving you better performance. So there's DLSS DLAA, which is a 1-to-1 scaling. There's no downscaling at all, which is what I used to run. Then there's auto, which chooses the best setting. There's quality, which I believe runs at a 66667 resolution, and then upscales to 100% to your full screen resolution. Then balanced, I believe, is 50%, or maybe maybe quality is 78, and balanced is 67, and then performance is 50, and then ultra performance is 33. I think that makes a little bit more sense. So I think quality is 78% of the resolution, and then it upscales it. So let's go to DLAA, which is a 100%. It's a 1-to-1 resolution. There's no downscaling. We'll run it with the AMD Frame Gen, and let's see, because what I'm trying to do is get this number, that 59, that's 60 up there, to be less than 60 to kind of see how high I can turn this up before I start losing either that 60 frames per second or before I become main thread limited, right? So we're still at 60 and we're still not main thread limited. So let's go here and let's start jacking stuff up. I mean, I guess one thing we could do, which would really, so the other thing we can do is upscale our screen. Boy, this could open up some real crazy possibilities. So what I've just done is I've upscaled my screen to 4K. And so I'm running 4K now on a 2K monitor, which is going to give me super. So you noticed how the and the video actually might scale weird. It's actually a possibility I hadn't really thought about. But let's get back in. So now what we've done is upscaled it to 4K. So we're really taxing my system right now. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to take a quick look. Yeah, it's kind of the scaling has messed up the image you're seeing in the recording. But what I'm seeing right now is 55 to 56 frames per second in there. But I'm still not main thread limited. So, I mean, we're in... What this is this is rendered now in 4K and downscaled to fit my 2K screen. So my system right now is pumping out a ton of pixels. A ton of pixels. And the image that I'm seeing is razor sharp. I mean, crystal clear. Because I've got so much higher resolution right now. But I'm at 60. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is really pretty intense because this. What's happening? So I'm trying to tax my system as hard as I can to get the frame rates to come down. So we're gonna set this back to 2K just so you can see the full screen resolution in the recording again. And then what we'll do is we'll come down here to rendering quality and we'll just jack all this stuff. See, okay. One of the downsides right now of running auto FPS, I'm going to turn auto FPS off because auto FPS has turned down some of my settings to give us, you can see the TLOD is 102 right now. So I'm going to turn that off. The reason I had it on was to see the FSR 3 on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So let's turn that off now. So yes, I do want to turn that off. So that is now gone. So now let's crank this up. 400. Let's crank this up to 200. Let's apply that and let's see what we get here. I mean, no, it comes down for a little bit. See, now my main thread is yellow, which is still, I mean, and we're, I mean, just borderline yellow green. So is it as fluid as the Frame Gen mod? Not really, but again, well, I guess it kind of is. I mean, this is truly amazing. This is truly amazing. It seemed like it seems like it needed a little bit of time to settle. So let's go back into the settings. This is totally impromptu. I didn't have reduce. Let me see. What does that say? Let me see. Oh, I mean, my GPU utilization is at 64% right now. So let's go have some more fun here. What else do we have? I mean, I don't really need to turn all this up, but let's do it anyway. I think that's the highest that'll go. No, we'll get that up there. We get contact shadows up there. Nah, that's not gonna happen. All right. I don't even know what cube map reflections are, to be honest with you. Ray Marsh reflections ultra. Why not? Light shafts off. That's ultra. I'll just set all these to high. All right. I mean, there's a couple things I can still turn up, but that's pretty well jacked right now. See, resource usage exceeded. Yeah, so my I've got my stats overlay, and it's pegged. Yeah, see, now we've now we've figured out how to make life a little difficult for my graphics card. All right, so but I'm still not main thread limited. I'm GPU limited now, which is unheard of. And even now, after I let that settle for a little bit, even after I let that settle for a little bit, now we're back up, you know, towards 60. It doesn't seem to have any real issues. I mean, I'm stunned at what I'm looking at right now. So let's see if let's see what we can get here. Rotating beacon on, external power supply on. Mixtures and props full forward, master and battery switches on. We'll open the fuel valves, fuel pumps coming on, mags coming on. Let's get everything turned off over here, or everything removed rather. I'm still not main thread limited. I mean, this is all right. Right prop is clear. Ah, stop. We have a little different kind of frame gen issue, you know, on the spinner there. Left prop is clear. Oh no. So it seems like with kind of aggressive turning of my head, that maybe we get some issues here, but I will lean out the mixture. Nav and strobes coming on. Avionics master coming on. I mean, this is remarkable because I am not main thread limited right now. I'm not, and I'm running at 60 FPS, and you saw the settings. So let's release the parking brake. We already did that. I'm seeing some issues with head movement. I'm using the Tobii eye tracker, but I mean, I've got this thing cranked. I mean, like seriously cranked. Every setting, and this is a payware third-party airport too. Yeah, see, yeah, see. It's yelling at me here. You're running about 90% GPU utilization, 34 to 37% CPU. On PC latency, it's showing me 0. I don't know if that shows on the on this. This is what we're looking at. So the GPU memory right here, 9.3 out of 10.4. That's where it's gonna get upset with me, and maybe that's where I'm getting that message from. But let's just see what we get here. I mean, I've got TLOD at 400. You know, mixtures and props full forward, few pumps are on, flaps are set. Seatbelts are secure, pre-landing, pre-departure checklist is complete. And I've got everything completely jacked. And I'm seeing more around the wings, shadows, more issues with FSR 3 than I'm used to with DLSS, but that doesn't quite make sense. So 70 knots, and we'll rotate here. Yeah, see, see this number down here at the bottom at 10.3 out of 10.0. That's when it's telling you you've got too much going on here, senor, to be doing all this. You got to turn some settings down. But I am GPU limited right now. I am GPU limited in Microsoft Flight Simulator 24. And guys, I have a 2-generation old graphics card. You know, that has no frame gen. I have a 2-generation old graphics card that has no frame gen, and I am CPU or GPU limited with settings cranked. This is remarkable. You can see it right up here. Limited by GPU. I mean, this is basically what we've been dreaming of for, since Flight Sim 2020 came out, is being CPU limited. Or being GPU limited, rather. Let's go flaps up. Turn our fuel pumps off. So the other thing that I was just thinking is when we are running this, we can now update FSR 3.1 in I mean, it just looks super clear in DLSS swapper. But I mean, like, I would be perfectly happy to go in here, to go in and turn down some of my settings to give some of that GPU memory back. And I mean, this is without auto FPS, which will make things better. I mean, it'll smooth this out. Auto FPS will smooth this out completely. You know, I'm basically not doing myself any favors right here in terms of performance, and I'm still okay. This is wild. I tell you what, this is wild. I meant to do this. I thought about doing this earlier today, but I didn't want to go through the process of uninstalling the Frame Gen mod. I mean, so basically what we're looking at right now is the possibility, the potential of getting really, really, really nice sim performance without having to use the Frame Gen mod. The Frame Gen mod, to me, is much better thought of as the smoothness mod. And that's what Frame Gen is, in my opinion. Frame Gen is smoothness. That's what it is. It gives you a smooth, you know, smooth view of the world. It has nothing. I don't care about extra frames. It doesn't. If you told me right now, hey Mike, you're getting 30 frames per second, or if you told me, hey Mike, you're getting 12 frames per second, or if you told me, Mike, you're getting 180 frames per second, I don't care. I don't care. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. What I care about is when I do this, that it's nice and smooth. That's what I care about. Couldn't care less how many frames I'm getting. I mean, I understand you do need to get a certain number of frames to do that, but I think we have a lot of kind of intellectual arguments about that are kind of based on numbers or focused on numbers that don't make any difference whatsoever. What matters is how your sim performs, and whether you're getting, you know, stutters, whether your sim performance is smooth. This sim performance is smooth, and I am doing myself no favors. The only favor I'm doing myself, obviously, is FSR 3, the Frame Gen. But if we can do this, and if I can get this airplane to stop climbing, I would be really happy. About to get frustrated. There it goes again. If we can use the in-sim FSR Frame Gen in 2024 and not be CPU limited, I mean, we're in a whole different world in terms of sim performance. We really are. The other question, of course, that comes now to the front of my feeble mind is how does this work with VR? If it does, maybe it doesn't work with VR. Maybe it doesn't work with VR. So much for that idea. But we'll bring some power out here. We'll bring the props back. We'll go fuel pumps on. I was just going to drop, and we will prevent that from happening. But I mean, this this is remarkable. This is truly remarkable, and this is the Airworthy Designs St. Barts Island scenery I got coming up here. So this is the entire island here is depicted. Alright, a second notch of flaps. Go 80 knots. Alright. Flaps are down even though they're indicating up. That is a bug in the aircraft. Alright, we got a stiff headwind. I mean, a really stiff headwind. Alright. thrusters and props full forward, two pumps around flaps are set, seat belts are secure. Pre-landing checklist is complete. And this is going to be an unusual St. Bart's landing because we are... I mean, this is a stiff wind because I mean, you're usually at quite high an angle to come in here, but this is very flat and I'm still low. 80 knots indicated. What am I doing over the ground? Oh, I don't have my... It's not indicating on the 530. Okay, just a little bit of power just to hold this right here. Bring that out. I mean, this is like the slowest approach into St. Bart's I've ever done. Yeah, see that now we're slowing down. Now we're getting the we've also got the biggest trees I've ever seen. Same, look at that. I think that must be a sim update 2 beta thing right there. Because the trees are rather large in St. Bart's today. Now that main thread's coming up about 20. Once that main thread comes up, yeah, look at the look at the size of the grass and everything else. But yeah, bizarre. That must be a sim update 2 beta thing with the trees. But anyway, there is something afoot here with the sim update 2 beta and FSR 3 that has rather enormous implications for us. Now, of course, I just flew that. I should have had the Aspen set. I could have checked at least a little bit to see whether the ghosting is evident in FSR 3. I'm gonna guess that it probably is, simply because I think that's just a byproduct of Frame Gen, but who knows? We'll get over here and we'll see if we can maybe even test that. My buddy and I got ramp checked here. The one time I flew in here in real life. Mixtures to idle, cut off, throttles to idle. Parking brake is set, lights coming off. Go avionics master off, flaps up, fuel pumps off. Mags off. No, you know what? I want the avionics on. Now let's see. See, that's the airspeed we're moving. Let me see here. I wonder if I turn this off. And then set the barrel to some crazy number. And then we turn this back on. Now let's see. Nope. So how do I... because what I'm trying to do is set the barometer really low and then see if we get any blur here. Maybe we can do it on the radio dials. That looks pretty clear to me. That looks pretty clear. I mean, you would get ghosting on that number change if there was any. I don't see it really. So, yeah, so like I said, there is the possibility that we've got Frame Gen for the people here. I'm overtaxing my GPU right now. Which would be absolutely gigantic if we can get ourselves. So if we go, let's go back into the settings here. Oh, I've got it on DLAA too. I mean, I've been running it on quality. Let's just change that. And I mean, that gives us an extra gig of wiggle room. That alone. So I mean, I might not even have to turn things back. Yeah, okay, so we're getting up there. So, yeah, I mean, or could turn on dynamic settings, but I don't want to make things easy right now. I want to go back to what I usually run, which is 205. There's that. We'll go 150. Just leave that. Now that's another gig in the, so now we're at 8.5 gigs out of 10.5 available. Yeah, and we're still not main thread limited. So I think there's some we're gonna have to play with this here a little bit, but there's definitely some potential for really pretty remarkable you know, changes here in Flight Sim 24. I don't need any of this stuff on Ultra. I didn't have it on Ultra before. So let's see what those changes do. Yeah, they made a little bit of a difference. But again, like if you run auto FPS, for example, yeah, it's coming down. That number's coming down. If you run auto FPS, for example, you know, that's gonna, that program without even changing any of the settings, I don't even mess with expert settings. I just leave it, let it do its thing. And right here, we're in plenty of headroom right here, GPU headroom, memory headroom. That is at 8.4, 8.3 out of 10.4. So yeah, huge potential here for Sim Update 2 with FSR 3. It does indeed look like we have Frame Gen for the people. It doesn't look like I mean, it looks like we're going to be able to use FSR 3 Frame Gen without having to use the Frame Gen mod for GTX and RTX cards as well. I mean, I'm an RTX RTX Nvidia guy, and this is working just fine for me. So huge potential here for this. Huge potential here for this, both in terms of performance and in terms of simplicity. Just one less thing to update, one less thing to deal with. So I'm going to leave it there. Didn't intend to make this video this long. We'll definitely be following up on this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any comments or questions you have, put them in the comment section below. And we'll talk soon. And one last thing. Oh, I went too far. Oh, just checking my parking. So I hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk soon.